They're going to actually beat the alderman that's trying to stop that, too.
Because the alderman's in the pocket to a whole bunch of different people.
Hey, you don't know that.
He is
allegedly in the pocket.
He was complaining last week about the canopy.
Yes.
Really, in what way is a tarp over land you don't freaking own bothering the neighbors?
I saw that. I was cracking up.
Really?
It's an eyesore.
You fellas are untouchable. Is that the thing? No one can get to you?
When a fellow was convicted of trying to bribe a public official, they would cut off his nose and sew him in a bag with a wild animal and throw that bag in the river.
That's the Chicago way.
Oh, you should put that speech on tape.
Hello, Chicago. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Gotta drink to that.
Welcome to Alternate Reality.
Period. You were surrounded by that stuff.
Man. Poor Metro. Metro used to have like the best shows until Wrigley came in and...
Yeah, but people still walk down to the Metro.
Boy, them Ricketts, they just took over.
That's where the money is.
Wrigley Land!
That's where the money is. It's smart. Well, Fenway did it a long time ago. They're doing the same thing that the Red Sox did.
They are the first owners to actually buy the team with the anticipation of generating income off of it. Not that the people who bought the team before didn't anticipate generating income off of it, but there's this thing is making $1 today, and if we don't do anything, it'll make $1 tomorrow. As opposed to, yeah, it's making $1 today, but if we put a little work into it, we can make it $30 tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
And that's what they were looking at. We're gonna take this thing and we're gonna make some real money off of it.
And they're making real
not
money
chump change, but real money.
We're making huge money off of it. You know, like the whole complaint about the park. Oh my God, it's gonna be horrible. And everyone in the neighborhood went, well, "This doesn't suck at all. This is a good idea." And they're like, "Yeah, why were you complaining about it?"
Because they live up there. That's where their homes are.
Yeah, and if you go around Wrigley, very few homes are actually around Wrigley.
Yeah, because they
used to be.
They killed the rooftop on this.
The buildings across the street, people live in them. But yeah, well, you know what? You're not paying for anything. You're sitting on your roof watching a game. You're not involved. You're not an investor. You're not an owner. You're on the roof charging $250 to go and sit on a rooftop and watch a game. Really? $250 to sit on a damn roof?
You know, God bless them. They can make a buck off.
Well, that's why the Ricketts are smart thing. You know what we'll do? Buy all you guys out. And now we own all this stuff.
You know what bothers me?
What?
The fact that we're 4 minutes in, we still haven't announced the show. Hey, folks, Comic Book Man
here.
Welcome once again to the Alternate Reality. And I'm being joined once again today by the Music Man himself.
Rod Flash.
Yeah, whatever he said. And I'm also being joined by the man who's in the Ricketts back pocket.
I'm Batman.
Batman.
I've got my tickets yet. Yeah,
let's see this. This is the preview show for WrestleMania 34. We will not do a post-game show.
No, there will be no post-game show.
But we are going to do a pre-game show.
The endings are already predetermined, so what will be the point in doing a post-game?
Hey.
Like
they are not. They are not.
Yeah, like we already. Yeah, like we don't know who's going to win the.
What swerve is going to happen in this one?
Yeah, what swerve do you think is going to happen?
We are going to look at every single match as of this moment that is scheduled for WrestleMania. Now, anything that happens from this point on, obviously we have no control over. But we're going to look at every single match that is set up right now for WrestleMania.
The card's basically there. There's a couple of things they're going to announce, but everyone already knows what the card is.
WrestleMania,
it's like a 5-hour show. So.
WrestleMania 34 is going to take place on Sunday, April the 8th, 2018. It's going to be at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Which used to be just the Superdome.
I know.
And, of course, everyone remembers the Superdome. That was the place where all the starving people were hanging out.
Yeah,
sweating and screaming that the government hates them.
Why do you hate me? The roof collapsed there.
Well, because of the brush.
Doing
good, Brownie.
Doing a heck of a job, Brownie.
Doing a heck of a job, Brownie.
Why don't they rename it Heck of a Job Brownie Dome?
He's off living in the land of obscurity. He's disappeared off the face of the earth.
Now, I took your list and I broke it down into two sections.
Yes.
The first section is going to be stuff which I guess isn't really set yet, but will be set. Yes. Matches that are coming. And the second half of this list is going to be matches that, as of right now, are set. So these first couple of matches that we're going to talk about, as of right now, they're not set in stone, but
they should be.
We'll be very much surprised if they don't happen.
Yeah, by the end of the week, it should be set.
Yeah, we'll be very much surprised if these don't happen. Before we get into this, is there anything that you want to talk about with WrestleMania? This year's WrestleMania opposed to last year's WrestleMania? Opposed to like 10 years ago WrestleMania? Anything historic? Anything? Any great thoughts you have about WrestleMania?
This year's Mania is going to get more mainstream coverage than any WrestleMania because of Ronda Rousey.
Yep.
Everyone's going to be watching this thing.
But that would be true from this point on. She's a member of the family now.
Yeah, but this will be her first match.
Yeah.
When she first popped up a couple years ago, it was a surprise. This will be her first match, and so you're going to get people from everywhere. And you already get people from all over the world who already got their tickets and they're living in New Orleans getting there right now. Everyone's going to be covering this thing. ESPN, we already know, is going to cover it. Fox Sports 1 is going to be covering this. Entertainment Weekly is going to be covering it. Everyone's covering this thing because this is her big match. This is going to be a big deal.
So when does she fight Brock Lesnar?
I would, I could see.
When are they
Male
going
versus
to
female match.
When are they going to do a mixed double with her and Brock Lesnar fighting
I could see a
whoever and
mixed
whoever?
Male
You know
versus
what was
female.
really interesting about this week's Raw? When they did that Rousey piece, which is actually quite well done. The amount of UFC footage and they're going, oh, Dana and Vince are buddies now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're using actual UFC footage there. They're buddies now.
Well, over on MMA, are they using any Punk footage from the WWE?
No.
No.
I was going to say, I mean, maybe
Well, he's only had one match, so I don't know.
Well, no, but I mean promotional footage.
No.
Of the many wonderful things that CM Punk has done in his past.
Not
No,
that I
but they
know
are
of.
hyping up his second
Yeah,
fight.
because it's here. It's going
Because
to be
I
here.
was going to
Chicago.
say, maybe it's a reciprocal thing back and forth. Give us some Rousey footage from UFC. We'll give you some WWE Punk footage that you can use.
Could be. Yeah, because Dana's figured out, you guys, my guys are going to be going to you guys anyway, so what the hell? Why should we, And it's basically him and Vince. He and Shane have always been cool. Dana White and Shane have always been cool. I mean, Shane goes to a lot of UFC shows with Taker. They hang out together.
So that's it?
That's it.
Okay, folks. Thanks a lot for listening.
Now we're going to talk about the card.
Okay, the card. We're going to start off with New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos. They have been building up for this match now since well before the last pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It looks like the Usos and New Day are going to be new best friends.
Their faces. Well, it's the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. And Edge and Christian. We go out, we steal the show. There's no point in us fighting. We come up with some of the greatest tag team matches you see during the year. And here are these other guys who just show up and screw up our match.
With sledgehammers.
With sledgehammers, yeah.
Oh, those big plastic
Those
rubber
things
sledgehammers.
aren't heavy at all. No, they're not mallets. They're not plastic. There's something because they don't break easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not heavy at all. It's a great opening and a great bit though. But yeah, they're fake. Those mallets aren't even close to Triple H's sledge.
You have no idea how much that crushes my little child spirit.
You're broken. Huh? He's not woken. He's broken.
I'm broken. Delete. By the way, before we get any deeper into this, did you see the Shatner thing that I posted?
No.
And I assume he's going to be on the show. Shatner is doing his dramatic line reading, singing / slinging / I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Yes.
Interpretation of some of the WWE's greatest theme songs.
Yes.
Like I'm a sexy boy.
Okay.
And it is every bit as bad as Rocket Man was 30 years ago or 40 years ago. It's every bit as bad as that was. He's doing it today. And the thing about that is, I'm sitting there looking at him, thinking to myself, he's like 86 now?
Yes.
Yeah, Shatner's pretty old.
And he's still doing this crap?
Yeah.
Yes.
Shatner's going to keep
Who
working.
does he owe money to?
No, he's going to keep working until he drops dead.
He has no kids, no wife. He basically
He's
just
loaded.
He's
just working.
Yeah, he has to do something besides sitting up in there watching.
He's not going to sit in the house
Star
watching
Trek.
TV. He's not working.
But yeah, you've got Shatner sitting on a stool with a curtain behind him doing Shawn Michaels' opening theme and anyone else's theme that had lyrics to it.
There's a bunch of those. Isn't he in Timeless, Shatner?
Timeless?
I think he's in Timeless.
Is he?
I think he is, because he was talking about it coming back on the air. I think he's popping up in this.
Well, this isn't his first time with the WWE. He did something with them before because he inducted Lawler into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and he's popped up a couple times. He's been celebrity host and a couple other things.
Yeah.
Is he in the celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame? I think
Shatner.
he is.
Yeah,
I don't
he
think.
is,
I don't,
yeah.
No, I don't think
Yeah.
Shatner is.
No, I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of
He's
the
in
people.
there.
He's gradually turning into the Bob Uecker of this generation.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's it.
So when is Andre going to strangle him to death? Anyway, back to the card. New Day, Bludgeon Brothers, Usos. Anything else you want to say about that? It looks like it's going to be it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
They're beating the crap out of
You know what's good about this match is that you got two tag teams, the Usos and the New Day, that can actually take hits.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
can
there's going to be a lot of hits.
good.
There's going to be a lot of hits.
And Bludgeon Brothers, there's absolutely no finesse with them whatsoever.
No. Oh, but
they're like old
Harper,
school smash.
Harper, for a guy his size, really knows how to work and really
I
knows
know
how to move.
the drop kick for a 6 foot.
And and he is apparently in the ring. He's regarded as a very good ring general, but he's really good in the ring. And Rowan's still learning. It's going to be a well put together match, and it's going to be brutal.
So pretty much after this is over, they're going to end up being either a triple disqualification or the Bludgeons get the belt.
It could be because remember you've got the show after WrestleMania,
Right,
where you're going to have a bunch of
everybody's-
people popping back up. One of which we already know is going to be the Authors of Pain. They're popping up on one of those shows. So Ellering's going to be on SmackDown or Raw the day after.
Well, they could just come in and
No,
beat off.
they won't. They won't do it then, but they'll do it the following night. You don't want to. If you're going to bring a bunch of people in the shows afterwards, you don't want to do it all on the WrestleMania card. You want to wait.
Yeah, plus you got 5 hours too.
Yeah, and you got 5 hours.
One match has got to be the match of the night, an hour match.
Oh, I already know what the match of the night's going to be. I can tell you that from looking at the card what the match of the night's going to be.
Possibly, maybe, because
we haven't gotten to it. We haven't gotten to it yet.
Right.
Yeah, that's going to be the match of the night.
Next up is John Cena versus Undertaker.
Yes.
Undertaker's actually going to come back and fight John Cena.
Yeah.
I would
really?
not. Well, this is a match that both of them have won it for a while, and Undertaker says, "I feel better than I have in years." And so I would imagine that Undertaker may pop up Monday.
You're running out of pregame shows to actually get
Yeah,
stuff
you're
going.
running out of. Yeah, so when the match is over with, you'll probably hear the gong, and he'll either pop up on the show or he'll pop up on the Titantron.
He's got to pop up on the show because usually Undertaker shows up a week or two before WrestleMania.
He could pop up in the ring.
Right, yeah.
The
That's what I
lights
meant.
go out, and all of a sudden, Cena looks around and goes, "Where did you come from?"
Now, the storyline they've been pushing on the show is John Cena can't find his way to WrestleMania.
Yes.
He keeps losing every match that he winds up
I
being
will
in.
buy a ticket and be in the front row watching the show.
Yeah, good for him. But
Yeah,
I'm
I'm sure you get comped.
Yeah, I assume that the Taker Cena thing is going all the way back.
Yeah.
That they were planning on doing this.
Yeah, and it was supposed to happen last year, and then it didn't happen. It was supposed to happen the year before, then it didn't happen. And it's not because of the fault of them. They wanted the match. It was Vince.
Didn't Undertaker say he wanted to lose his first match to Cena?
It was one of the people that he was going to lose his match to. Yeah,
Because he was like, okay, Vince, this 21-0 thing is fine and stuff, but I gotta sooner or later I'm
I
gonna
gotta
lose.
right.
And there's a couple of guys that I
And I
want to
trust
lose
this
to.
guy.
Because he was crazy about Cena when he first showed up.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
that.
Okay, our next match, which will be on the show, which isn't really set yet, though, because it's still being cooked.
Storyline.
Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yes. Oh no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
This-
Yes.
and
No. Not Kevin Owens, because he's really sold a bit on social media. Kevin Steen.
Kevin Steen.
He went back to his old name. He changed
really?
his name on Twitter.
Why?
He's really selling the hell out of this whole angle. Because
what's he selling?
Because according to the
They own the
storyline,
name.
they were both
WWE
fired.
They were fired last week, and apparently Vince probably owns the name Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens is the name he came up with because actually his last name Owens is because of Owen Hart.
Well, KO.
Yeah, KO. But yeah, he picked the last name Owens because that's the name of his son, and because he was always a big fan of Owen Hart. Now, Sami Zayn was El Generico on Ring of Honor, so he didn't go back to anything. But Owens is really pushing this on social media. He changed his Twitter name.
Now, the whole point behind this bit is to push Sami Zayn, right?
Zayn's actually got a good push because he's the...
Well, no, but going all the way back to the beginning, the origins of this, when Shane jumped off the top of the cage, and Sami Zayn pushed him out of the way. Pushed him out of the way, which is what started all this. This is Sami Zayn's push that he's been needing for like 3 years now, which he hasn't gotten.
Yeah, this is a big push.
And you know what's even funny about that is Sami Zayn, he has a win over Braun Strowman.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He does. And
because remember they kept saying over and over, we're trying to push you, Sammy, but you're out of your league against Strowman, and he just kept
I
telling
want to fight Braun
Strowman.
Strowman. You kept telling Mick Foley, I want to fight Braun Strowman.
Now you can put him over on the SmackDown, and now him and Kevin Owens supposedly are buddies again.
Oh,
now.
and you know Zayn's going to be the one turning on Owens. He did it already. He's going to do it again.
Yeah,
he's going to be the guy turning on Owens.
I see the screw.
The match is going to be over with. And he's going to look at Owens and go, "We lost because of you," and he's going to beat the crap out of him.
I like Sami Zayn. I always hope that he didn't turn into a Dolph Ziggler. I always hope he wouldn't turn into a Dolph Ziggler because Ziggler has been really mismanaged over the years. And our last match, which is sort of set but not yet, is Sasha Banks versus Bayley.
Yeah.
That's gonna be set Monday.
That is someone
That's
else.
Monday.
That is someone else, Bayley, who has been floundering for the last year and a half ever since she got called up.
Because Sasha Banks is in a. You saw the matches between her and Charlotte last year. They were some of the best women matches we've had on TV in a
And
long
the Sasha
while.
Bayley matches in NXT were also some of the best women's matches of that year. Of course, Bayley's the face and Sasha's the ultimate heel. So.
Is Bayley going to do a face turn?
Bayley
Or a heel turn? Or a heel turn?
No, Bayley's the face, Sasha's the heel. Sasha wants to go full heel.
She's not full heel yet?
No.
How much farther does she have to go?
She's close to that point. She comes out, Bayley, I'm sorry. I know I may have done things you didn't like.
And then she clotheslines her.
And then she clotheslines her.
But the only thing that's going to mess that up is the announcers, like Corey, has been trying to make Bayley into a heel very slowly and making Sasha as the selfish one.
But Corey's also going, you can't trust Sasha. He's been saying that since day one.
So is he trying to play heel and face announce at the same time?
He is the guy on the show who's there to give the little digs and...
Okay, because the thing with him and Elias is funny.
Yeah.
He flat out says point blank, I can't stand this guy.
Yeah.
His music's horrible, and Elias does the thing with him. The thing with him and Sasha back and forth, because he keeps saying over and over, you can't trust Sasha. She's only about herself and everything.
And she also, the other bit with Asuka, where Bayley goes, yeah, well, I beat you. So if I can beat you, I guess I can beat her.
Yeah. The one person, before we get to the actual set matches, who doesn't have a match, he says right now, is Elias.
Oh, no. No, he does.
It's coming.
No,
just look at the list.
He does. No, he does. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, he does. He does.
And before we get to that, I'm going to take a break. And then when we come back, we're going to actually hit the card.
We got to walk with Elias.
You know, folks, there really is no other store that has as many sales as Alternate Reality. Beyond our signature sale of 15% off all new comics, we also have specialized sales peppered throughout the week, month, and year. For example, did you know that every Thursday is Ladies' Day at the store? That's right, ladies. Stop by the store and you'll save 20% off all of your purchases all day long. Ladies from 8 to 80 get a 20% discount on everything all day, every Thursday, only at Alternate Reality.
And we're back. Okay, let's start off with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Last year, who won that? Exactly.
Baron Corbin.
No, that was
No, it was Mojo Rawley, who's in this year's as well.
It was Mojo Rawley won last year, and it did absolutely nothing for him.
He became a mid-card heel.
Yeah, but it did nothing for him.
Yeah, but you've hearing the chants for him now. You can't wrestle.
He was getting those same chants at NXT.
So the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, who do you think is going to win?
Oh, they've only announced like a couple people on the card. I mean, the Revival, and they're telling me they're going to be the first tag team to win. No, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. Some people will be brought up from NXT to be in both the Battle Royals that are on the card. But so far, they've only announced like 5-6 names. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to tell. But these Battle Royals exist for one reason. Everyone needs part of the WrestleMania money. This is your way to get on the card.
Yeah, but also somebody gets a push out of it.
And somebody gets a push out of it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bunch of cruiserweights and maybe 3 or 4 older characters.
It could be anybody at this point. Anybody who's not booked on the card.
I think I got it. Cass is slated to come back. That could be him.
He'll be back either that day or WrestleMania, and so is Joe. Both of them have been cleared to wrestle, and so is Jeff Hardy. They've all been cleared.
I'm leaning more towards Big Cass to go win that Battle Royal.
Well, if they've all been cleared, then you're all probably going to show up at WrestleMania in some way, shape, or form.
Because Joe's basically waiting for a storyline. That's what he's waiting on. He's waiting for a storyline. But
this is where you start a storyline. He comes out and screws something up for somebody, and then we pick it up Monday night.
Yeah. And you've also got Bobby Lashley who's hanging around out there waiting to show up.
I forget, is he on Raw or SmackDown?
Joe's on Raw.
Okay, so Monday night.
And so
next night.
And Cass is on Raw as well.
The WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal.
Yeah, it used to be the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal. then people started going, wait a minute. She wasn't a very nice person to a lot of people. She trained a lot of wrestlers and screwed them out of money.
Yeah.
And so the Snickers people went, could you possibly change the name? We don't like bad publicity.
I like her already.
Yeah, that's been a story with Moolah for a long time. When she was running the women's division for like 35 years.
Yeah, you're all slaves, and I'm the guy. I'm the person in charge.
Okay, you're getting paid how much? Okay, I get half of that.
Right. Right.
I get half of that, and I win, and maybe you'll get a push, and maybe you won't.
And
but it won't really matter, because at the end of the day, when everything's said and done, I'll still be in charge of the women.
Right, and I'm not going to sell for you, so just don't expect it to happen.
Yeah. Apparently, she was a real joy to work.
She was a real plant, real.
I'm like, already.
God,
God rest her soul, man.
The problem with that is if you're going to go back into the women's division and pick a name like Andre the Giant, if you're looking for a name to attach to it, there aren't a lot of names to attach to it in the first place.
You can't use Mae Young because she's part of the Mae Young tournament in NXT, so you can't use her name.
That leaves Moolah.
Yeah, Moolah, or what, is he going to be a Wonder Blaze
She's
battle?
not dead.
Oh, no.
She's not
Well,
dead.
not after what she did.
Right.
Not after what she did on Nitro.
Right.
No.
So, no.
Well, no. They're
fine with it. They're made up. They're cool.
Yeah,
they're cool.
That's
bridges,
what they say.
the bridges have all been rebuilt.
No, they're cool. They're cool. I mean, all the rest is around.
But yeah, there aren't a lot of names that you could pick that anybody would recognize.
You can call it the Mildred Burke battle. People go, who the hell's Mildred Burke?
Unless
Wendy Richter.
Yeah, Wendy Richter. Well, you really wouldn't use her name because she was one of the people who got screwed by Moolah.
Well, unless you want to start actively building a name over the course of the next year to name it next year by first putting them in the Hall of Fame. Just talking every episode about how this wonderful woman's wrestler everyone's forgotten did so much.
How about the China battle?
That's no.
No, I know. That was asking for too much.
No,
that's no story.
You're more likely to get the Trish Stratus battle royal or.
Well, I would think they would want to name it after someone who's no longer with us.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody who's no longer around. There's not a lot of them out there.
Miss Elizabeth battle royal.
No, that involves.
Well, you see, there are very few women in the women's.
And by the way, Miss Elizabeth couldn't wrestle at all. She didn't wrestle. She's a personality.
Well, yeah, but there are very few women out there that are no longer with us that you could go to pick who like passed quietly away in the night. A lot of them are like China or Miss Elizabeth or
issues. There are issues.
There are issues involved with.
You'd like people to go, wait a minute, didn't that happen to you?
Well, yeah, and so if you name it after them, the first thing that happens is, oh yeah, and how'd she die again?
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, I mean, she died in an ambulance because she OD'd. Oh,
yeah. But that's why we're naming the battle royal after. If you're really pushing a women's division, I really don't think that's the way you want to push it.
You don't want people to associate that with it.
Okay, moving on. Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. As you mentioned before, this is the engine that is driving this WrestleMania.
This is the big driving thing.
With Ronda
Of course,
Rousey's
everyone will go, my God, Triple H has gotten smaller.
Well, we talked about that on a previous show.
He's gotten smaller.
Yeah, if you folks haven't seen Triple H lately, wait till you see this match.
Yeah,
unless he bulks up in the next 2 weeks.
He's in really good shape, but he's not jacked up anymore.
Like
he's not jacked up. Well, he has no reason to. He spends most of his time sitting behind the desk.
Well, he's an executive.
Yeah, he's an executive. He's a guy basically being set up. He's running the company. Angle, he's wrestled every once in a while, and Angle keeps working out.
You look at Angle come out in every Raw, and you can tell that he is spending 5 out of 7 days in the gym.
Oh, he's in the gym all the time.
I mean, no, he might not be wrestling, but he's in the gym all the time. You can tell. He keeps himself up.
Yeah, he keeps working out.
So, as if I don't know, how do you think this match will turn out?
Let me guess.
I know this is going to be a tough one.
Ronda and Kurt Angle will win, and if it's at all possible, The Rock will show up and cost Triple H the win.
Or The Rock could show up and cost Ronda Rousey the win.
No, he wouldn't do that.
It depends on what kind of if they want to do a swerve or not.
No,
he
wouldn't do that.
Well, one of the best things that's going to come out of this match is you'll be able to fast forward and slow motion your way through Stephanie McMahon going through a table somewhere.
Yeah, she's going through a table.
In the match over and over and over again.
I got a feeling that they're going to let her do a couple of moves or something just to keep it interesting.
Apparently, she's been working on. She was doing kickboxing stuff, so she'll be doing certain things. And you're going to see, as we were talking to you before we started doing this, you can see a lot more moves out of Rousey because she's been trained by Brian Kendrick, and Kendrick knows every wrestling move that exists.
Yeah.
So he'll be working out with her.
Well, if they want to make her credible, they have to bring her in and teach her stuff.
Yeah, that'd be.
And I think just from looking at her, I don't know much.
She's easily teachable. Yeah.
I don't know much about Ronda Rousey because I never watch UFC. I mean, I know what I know about Ronda Rousey. I know primarily from the news that I've posted that you've sent me over the years from UFC.
She's a judo champion.
But she does seem like she's pretty smart and can pick stuff up, and it seems like she sincerely wants to be part of the WWE family from this point on.
She said quite clearly she was planning on being in the WWE about 10 years ago.
So when does she actually join the women's division? I mean, she's Ronda Rousey personality floating around out there right now. At some point, the storyline ends, and she's going to have to wind up in the women's division.
At some point, she will pop up, and then it'll be a question of who's she going to wrestle, because you won't know what's going on after Mania, who's wandering from one show show to the next.
I got a strange feeling
she's not going to
wrestle a dude. I think they're going to have her wrestle a guy. I see it down the line. Not right now, but I see it down the line.
Here's the problem with that. They did that with China back 15 years ago, and that didn't last. You can get away with that for a while, but after a while, it's like...
Not every match, but I think a couple, because China actually won a belt from Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, she was the IC champion.
The IC champion. But I would imagine Rousey's schedule, she's going to work a couple times a month. She was at Monday Night's Raw, but she did an angle when the show was over with, so the people in Dallas got to see her work. She was actually at Raw, but she did something off camera.
Moving on, Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali.
That is the Cruiserweight Championship. That could be a great matchup. They let the two of them do whatever the hell they want to do.
Yeah, but
and because Triple H is in charge of that division now, they're probably going to let them do whatever the hell they want to do.
You know what I find out funny about that match? So that whole entire division just went by the wayside. They need a guy with a personality in there.
Oh, they've been doing something with Alexander's personality. So they've been doing stuff with him on that. Apparently he's sort of teasing a very subtle heel turn. And Mustafa Ali's from Chicago, so hey, I'm cheering for him.
He's a cop from Chicago.
Yeah, he's from Chicago.
Now, was he a Chicago cop or was he a suburban cop?
I think he was a Chicago cop.
Okay.
And Alexander's a guy, he was what? And oh, by the way, if you talk about cruiserweights, Rich Swann is talking about retiring from wrestling altogether because he said he's not having fun anymore. Oh. Since the WWE fired him for beating up his girlfriend.
Beating up what?
His girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a very sad thing.
So what's he going to do for a living then?
I have no idea.
I hear there's an opening on Chicago Police Force.
He'd be a cop. He'd be a cop.
Doing dance moves like that?
Now, now, you know what could be a big surprise for that point? There's a certain former champion, who left because he was annoyed with Enzo, who's still being paid. Neville could pop back up.
I would prefer
He's still under contract.
I prefer it.
Now, would he be the cranky Neville, or would he be the man who could defy gravity?
It was a good question, but yeah, he's still being paid.
That'd be cranky.
If he left because he didn't like Enzo, there's no reason for him not to.
You're not on the Neville level.
There you go, yeah.
The Neville level.
The Neville level.
Okay, tag team, Braun Strowman and a partner to be named.
Yes.
And I think I know you're going with this. Versus Cesaro and Sheamus.
Now, who is his partner?
Who
wants to
Elias?
What Elias? That's his partner.
So that's how they're getting Elias into WrestleMania.
And guess what? They're going to win the belt.
Of course they are.
Because as good as Cesaro and Sheamus, you guys are so good, you don't need the belts.
No. Yeah, you're at that point where you don't need the belts since you're entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
Both of you guys can talk good on the mic, and you're damn good in the ring.
Right.
Well, they're at the New Day level.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't need the belt to get over.
They don't need the belts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Braun needs something because they mismanaged the whole thing with him and Brock. And I think it's because what we're going to discuss later.
Braun was never going to win that belt from Lesnar. That was never the plan. It was never going to happen. Braun is amazingly over for a guy. If you look at Braun a couple of years ago, he couldn't wrestle at all.
I saw a couple.
That is a guy who has basically developed incredibly. A guy his size doing a drop kick. That's unusual. The fact that he can talk on the mic, the fact that he can do light comedy, and he can do hard ass, and the fact that the fans love him being out there.
Well, when you start pushing over tractor trailers.
Yeah. He pushes over tractor trailers.
What's not to love?
And coming out of a garbage can alive, he's a guy who the audience basically turned into a face. He was a heel, but the audience went, no. You're a face.
Yeah, no, I saw the shirts. Get these hands.
These hands. And fans are chanting.
And they're yelling, get
these hands. Get these
Walk
hands.
with Elias. There you go. Tag team champions right there.
Well, we're talking about this. We forgot, though, about that Sami Zayn Shane thing. Yeah. You know the most entertaining thing about that thing Tuesday night was? When Sami and Kevin Owens were leaving, the fans were chanting, "You're still fired." And I'm like, these fans are pretty smart. I like these guys.
Oh, after they beat up Daniel Bryan and
they're walking up the ramp
and Kevin Owens does his own and they go, "You're still fired."
The fans are chanting, "You're still fired," and they're looking over going.
Back to the women's division, we've got Asuka versus Charlotte Flair.
Woo!
The second match of the night.
Now, is Asuka finally going to lose?
Asuka is going to beat Charlotte Flair.
She's going to beat Charlotte Flair.
You know what?
Charlotte Flair's another one who doesn't need the belt to be over.
Exactly.
You know, I was thinking when we were talking before about Ronda Rousey. Yeah, that's who Asuka could lose to.
Yeah, and that's probably the long-term plan for her to lose to Rousey.
Asuka could lose to
That's your SummerSlam match right there.
Rousey's a bigger name, and she needs to be pushed. And what better way to push her than to defeat the woman who's never lost?
Yeah, that's your WrestleMania.
They call Asuka the female Goldberg.
Basically, yeah. But that is going to be your SummerSlam match. Asuka versus Ronda Rousey. And that could be a good match because, Asuka and Charlotte can wrestle their asses off.
Oh, man. Charlotte, she was good when she came in. Now she's like...
Oh, she's much better.
Whoa.
Yeah, she's really improved a lot over the last year and a half. She really has.
For someone who 4 or 5 years ago had no interest in wrestling at all. She was a gymnast. She's like, I'm not wrestling.
Well, what's amazing about that is all of Flair's sons, I think, worked their way through and sucked.
Yeah, they were horrible.
She comes through and she's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, the one brother died, and she says, okay, maybe I'll try this. She's a legacy kid. Like, the whole Aiden English thing. He's married to Eddie Guerrero's daughter. She's going to wrestle sooner or later. And he also said that Dewey Foley is talking about, I want to wrestle too. These are all second-generation people coming up.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to work on the last 5 matches for WrestleMania leading up to the main event.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right after this.
Hey folks, Comic Book Man here. Most people don't know this, but I got my start in comics retail on February 20th, 1978, when I became the store manager of the Comic Book Emporium. 16 years later, I opened Alternate Reality on August 20th, 1994. Like Superman's penchant for double L's, it seems the 20th has always been an important part of my life. I respect that heritage, which is why we have a Founders Day sale on the 20th of each month here at the store. Every 20th, stop by and you'll save 20% off all of your purchases all day long, only at Alternate Reality.
And we're back. Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton, which sounds like it's just going to be an absolute mess in the ring.
No, what will happen is they'll all carry Mahal.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Bobby Roode and Randy Orton in the ring. Jinder Mahal, I have no reason.
You probably have better backstage knowledge than I do. Then what was the purpose of giving him the belt if these two guys have to carry him?
Well, Vince was sucking up to India.
He was basically pushing the Indian market. That's why they're doing that big, huge 50-person battle royal in Saudi Arabia, and it worked. Mahal was a mid-carder.
Right.
Now he's not really a mid-carder anymore. He was a D-level mid-carder.
He moved up to A when he won the belt.
He moved up to A when and now he's back to being B. His run was not a horrible Diesel, not making any money tour disaster. It was a decent run.
Part of the problem with that, though, was he said a lot of stupid stuff when he was in the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, when he fought Shinsuke Nakamura,
he
was sitting there.
A couple of
he was sitting there doing his Charlie Chan impersonation.
Yeah, and you
like, really?
And you look at the back and go, really? You let him do this bit? You wrote this for him?
Do you have any idea, did he just do that off the top of his head, or was that scripted?
No, that was scripted.
Nobody along the way said, should we be doing this?
That was scripted.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think that so far, for the most part, the WWE's done a really good job with the whole Asuka and Shinsuke Nakamura not being able to understand English
completely,
quote unquote. Okay, so we have to talk very slowly to you. Thing that they've done with both those characters in the ring. From everything I've seen, it hasn't gotten down to the level of we're making fun of you because you're Asian.
Well, if you notice after that last bit,
except for this Jinder Mahal thing,
right? When Jinder did when he was doing the whole Charlie Chan thing, they did an interview with Nakamura, and he basically had this pissed off look on his face and just said, "I'll do my talking ring," and walked away. And it's like, oh, they pissed him off. Yeah. It's like, who came up with the bright idea of doing that in the first place?
That'll be Michael Hayes.
If you want to tread on a wrestler's ethnicity, that's fine as long as you don't turn it into a stereotype joke. That's a problem they fell into with that. They went yellow with it.
But they'll be able to carry. I think Rude's gonna get the belt back.
And he needs it more than Orton needs the belt on him anyway.
Orton didn't have. That's the one belt he didn't have. So
he got it for a couple weeks. Then he loses it to Bobby Roode.
And Orton's another guy. Orton doesn't need a belt to get over. He's over. And Roode doesn't need a belt to get over either because he's just as over. But you could give it to Mahal.
But you got to build. You slowly got to build Roode up. SmackDown.
You got to build Roode up. He does need the belt for that.
He'd make him a top 5 in the SmackDown thing on there.
You can't build yourself unless you start getting the belt, and then losing the belt, and then getting the belt.
So he gets the belt back.
Next up, Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss.
Two best friends.
friends.
Yeah, they actually are best friends. They're really cute about it.
You know, the whole...
They hang out together, they travel together. They actually are the best friends. They are best friends.
The whole thing I was just talking about before with Shinsuke Nakamura and the whole Asian thing, they're doing the same thing with her being fat. You know, not to get real PC about this, because I'm really not that PC about it. I mean, I've got, and you've got, we've both got a couple of pounds on us, and
I'm 125 pounds.
Yeah, you're lying.
I'm a cruiserweight.
You're lying.
I'm a cruiserweight. Damn it.
You're lying sack of crap. And I don't get touchy about it. Yeah. But some of the stuff they've been doing with Nia Jax is really starting to get uncomfortable.
It is that whole hidden camera 2 weeks ago. That was a little bit on
the thing which turns that into the angle. Nia's always been the happy person. She's always been really friendly. And then all of a sudden she hears her saying this, and she turns into the beast that they want her to be.
You work this angle hard enough, and she could be the suicide waiting to happen. No, seriously. With some of the stuff that they're saying and the path they're going down with this, that's the thing that bothers me about this.
Especially tossing in Alexa Bliss and her so-called best friend Mickey, and Mickey quit a couple of years ago because of the whole situation. Remember the whole thing with her and Undertaker's wife?
That wasn't it.
Well, we know why. Mickey left because of
the John Cena affair thing. That's why Mickey
we know
left.
that. But that angle right there was getting a little bit uncomfortable because when they were beat up in the ring, they would put a pig nose on and say, "Look at you, piggy."
That's something you were going to go with. Jax is going to win this match.
Yeah, she's
going to win this match. She's getting the belt. Because remember, she'd come out, you see the eyes, and she's got that smile on her face, and she's been pleasant. Right. Well, now she's basically being a beast. She's a destroyer. Both of them know how to wrestle.
Alexa is a darn good wrestler.
She's someone who also got a lot better. I mean, when she came up from NXT, you went, "Oh yeah, Alexa Bliss is here," and you went, "Damn, she can wrestle." Because remember, she wasn't wrestling there for a while. She was hanging out with Murphy and the other guy. She was hanging out with them. She wasn't doing anything else. And Nia can wrestle too. What's really weird about Nia Jax is I follow her on Instagram. There are a lot of pictures of Nia Jax when she was younger. She was never this size.
I know. I've seen the pictures.
And I found out something weird. She was in an abusive relationship and went, who the hell would be dumb enough to try to tick her off? Because she could kill a guy just by hitting her with a fist.
But that's the problem with something like that is a woman who gets into an abusive relationship like that, everything gets wrapped up with her self-image. Yeah. And if you've emotionally invested everything you have in this person you're with, and then that person turns on you and starts abusing you, not physically but verbally, that can be worse than the actual physical abuse because it tears you down inside.
Well, she's been quite clear on most of her Instagram posts. She has a very positive body image, and she doesn't care what other people think about her.
Well, that's good. That's good. But I mean, that's the thing that bothers me about this whole angle is they're really. Remember when the WWE was fooling around with the whole gay marriage thing?
Yeah.
Back about 10, 12 years ago.
Billy Gunn.
Okay, that is an area. Okay, that is an area you don't want to go into because nothing good can come of this. Yeah. You're either making fun of them on some level, or you're not taking gay rights seriously on some level, or you're just turning the whole thing into the butt of a joke, and that's what this winds up being. This is the same thing, but for women, it's body image, it's self-image, it's how they see themselves, it's how they feel about themselves. It's an area that you just don't want to go in. What you're talking about before with Mickey and the pig nose thing, you don't want to get into that. You really don't with women. And if you're going to do a women's division, this is the type of stuff you need to sort out now.
Just stop doing it.
Okay, because if you're going to do a serious women's division where you're doing storylines that are going to go on for years, you're going to keep wandering back into this area over and over again unless you sit down and write some hard rules about it.
So who's basically writing the women's division line? Isn't this there's a guy that's basically assistant of Stephanie. He told a couple of ladies that you need to step up in the ring.
When you talk about Mark Carrano, he's not there anymore. A lot of those matches were run by Fit Finlay. I'm not really sure who's running the women's division now. There is Sarah D'Amato, who's down in NXT, and I think she's hanging out with them as well. So their matches are being planned out as well. And my question about this match is, it can't be that long. It's going to be a 5-minute match, maybe 6 minutes, maybe even 7. It's not going to be a real long match. Maybe we should do it. Maybe we should do a drop kick or something.
I'm saying probably maybe 10 at the top.
Yeah, maybe 10. Maybe 10 minutes. It's going to be probably one of the shortest matches of the night.
Well, at some point when you're watching a 5-hour show like WrestleMania, the matches start getting really mechanical after a while.
Yeah.
It's like, we are here to do X, and we need to get to X as soon as possible because then we got to get off stage and the new X got to come out. And they've got to get to X. And that's the one thing I've always noticed about WrestleMania. It's 7 or 8 matches in. We're here to get this done and to get off stage. Period. Okay, moving on. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus The Miz. Is Finn Balor finally going to get his push?
I think,
no. Seth Rollins does not need a push, and The Miz does not need a push.
Neither does Balor, but Balor's probably going to be moving over to SmackDown. So
he's not going to get the. So Seth.
He could win. Seth. You know what Seth's going to belt? That's the only belt he hasn't had.
Right. Because he was a tag team champion, he was a heavyweight champion.
That's the only belt he hasn't had, and so he'll get the belt because Balor's going to be moving to SmackDown. It's not a coincidence that Balor's walking out in blue outfits all the time.
Yeah, I saw his entire.
You're telegraphing this. He's wearing blue all the time. And you know what else I know about Balor? God, he's gotten more ripped than I've ever seen him.
Yeah, he is ripped. Something. So that means they switch him over to SmackDown. He becomes a heel over there.
He could be a heel. He's actually, when he was Prince Devitt and he was working in Japan, he was a very effective heel. But yeah, he's probably going over there, and also Gallows and Anderson are probably going to go over there with him.
What happened to all that demon makeup he used to put on?
He only brought that out every once in a while. Yeah. For this one, he's not going to bring out the demon.
He's not going out in the demon?
No, not for a 3-person match. What would be the point?
Yeah, he's right about that.
Yeah, what would the point in coming out as a demon?
Well, because it's WrestleMania.
Unless he's getting the push.
Yeah, but no, it won't. If he was going to be coming out as a demon, you'd have seen a tease by that already. It's not yet. He's going to be coming out as Finn Balor. Now, his first match over at SmackDown, yeah, probably the demon. But he only brought that out when there were a couple of big feuds. He didn't do that all the time. It's a lot of work putting all that damn makeup.
I know.
Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles,
which is match of the night,
which is the SmackDown big match.
That's match of the night. That's the Bullet Club based on the Bullet
Club. That's why I said there may be a question mark on that, because from what I've been reading, Triple H is very closely watching AJ Styles because he got injured a while back, and he's talking to the doctors to make sure that he's ready for this because he wants this to be the match of the night.
It's going to be the match of the night. These two, when they wrestled in Japan, tore the house down, and Shinsuke's going to win the belt. AJ's another guy. He doesn't need the belt to be over. He's over. Both of them are over, but Shinsuke's going to get the belt. So you're going to end up with both of the Japanese wrestlers with the belts.
Kicking the hell out of each other, too.
Oh, you think the two of them are going to beat the crap out of each other?
And you know what's so funny about Nakamura? From what I've seen, I didn't see too much of him because I didn't watch too much of NXT. Mm-hmm. He has this strange way of coming back from selling the move to where he goes into his stuff and very effective. I mean, his kicks is like, man, you just knocked that guy's tooth out.
He
right there.
Kicks harder probably than anybody on the roster. Talk about, the Undertaker being one of the best strikers in the business, and it's actually true because he knows how to hit. Nakamura's better.
Oh, man.
Nakamura's got a lot of moves that the U.S. market hasn't even seen yet.
I would see that one going 40, 50 minutes.
That's a 40 to 50. Yeah, it's going to be a long match.
So, am I correct in assuming that Nakamura and Asuka actually speak much better English than
they do?
Yeah.
They do. Since they're both going to have the belt, wouldn't this be the time for the two of them to show up together in the ring with their belts, get into some sort of discussion with
philosophical discussion?
No, get into some sort of let me talk really slow to you so you understand me type of discussion. And they look at each other and go, "What the hell is she talking about? I don't know. I speak fine."
That'd be funny.
That'd
be funny as hell.
They've got to get rid of that at some point.
Yeah.
At some point, they have to get rid of the "I don't understand what you're saying,"
crap.
Especially if they understand just fine.
Yeah.
So the best way to get rid of that is to make a joke out of it and make a bit of it. Yeah, we've been screwing you. We understand you just fine. Yeah, and you know what? We can talk probably better than you can.
It's kind of like Kofi Kingston being from Jamaica. It's like he's not.
Yeah, that was it.
I'm not from Kenya. I'm from Jamaica.
I mean, I would think that would be the best way in the world to get rid of that for both of them and then just move forward with it. That's like all the years with Kane with the mask, he's so horribly disfigured.
Yeah.
Then he takes the mask off finally,
he looks like
he's got a lot of charcoal on his face, and they sort of blur the lens for like 2 matches, and then it's like, okay, well, we're done with this bit.
Yeah, and he's
moving on.
And he's bald. It's like,
bald.
Where'd your hair go?
I was like, wait a minute, this is Isaac Yankum.
Yeah, it's Isaac Yankum with who had curly hair.
Okay, and our final match is the big Raw match, the big one that they've been pushing now for 6 months.
Yes.
Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
And we already know that Roman's going to win the belt.
Yeah.
And Brock is going away back to his farm for planting because spring is coming.
Yeah.
But I give him
credit.
Time
for the spring planting.
This was the best sale they had of Brock in 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
Even the Goldberg thing, which was rushed. Give him Goldberg the belt. Okay, he get it. He's not going to wrestle too much, so let him lose the belt and then push it on there. But they sold this real good.
Yeah.
This is what you have to do to get Roman Reigns over, basically saying, I'm here every week. You're nothing but a bitch. And he's calling him that every week.
Yeah.
Where's that bitch Brock Lesnar? Yeah. And Brock comes in last week and said, here's the bitch right here. Bam.
Well, the one thing that you can never go wrong with is I'm the guy that works and he's the guy that doesn't.
Yeah.
And I can prove it to you. I'm here every week,
right?
And he's not.
He's not.
Okay. If you want to get the audience's support on your side, that is one of the best ways to go.
Yeah. You paid your ticket to see the champion who's never here.
And it doesn't matter whether you're a heel or a face.
Right.
That works for both. Okay, because that cuts over heel and face.
I'm here.
Goes right over the top of it and goes right to a whole different issue.
And plus, Defying Authority gets you over big time, too.
Miz has used that in the past, too. Miz has used that bit in the past, too. You might not like me, but I am here every damn week.
I do stuff for this company every week.
I know, but what cracks me up about that is that Miz gets over doing that, but at the same time, he just basically says, well, screw it. He does it every time because even Cena gave Miz credit. He said when Cena was feuding with Roman, he basically gave credit. He said, you know what? I have about as much respect for you as that person over there. I have more respect for the Miz than I do for you. And they was clapping for the Miz. And Miz goes and says some little comment about the cities, and they
because Miz is better as a heel than he is as a face.
Was he ever a face?
Yeah. Didn't last very long. It wasn't really effective.
Well, I don't know about a face, but he's been softer.
Yeah.
He's been less of a jerk.
He's been less obnoxious.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he plays heel quite well. Yeah. And that's a guy you look at him and go, you shouldn't even be, first
you're
from
the
real world. Why are you still here? It's like, and he goes, I know how to wrestle. And I'm proving to you I know how to wrestle.
Well, the best part of Mrs. Bit is when he goes out and he does something like, what is it, the Marines?
Yeah, the Marine 3, the Marine 4. I'm a big Hollywood star.
Yeah, that's the bit. That's the bit. I just came back from Conquering Hollywood, the Marine 5.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Marine 5. It's going direct to video.
Direct to video.
Nobody's going to watch it. We don't even know why the hell we're making it. But you just conquered Hollywood with the Marine 5. Okay, well, good.
And even he jokes about it, going, "Yeah, I know my movies don't go to the theaters; they go direct to DVD, but I'm working."
But his Christmas movie did make some money, though. That Christmas movie did make some money.
Christmas movies have been pretty bad not to make some money.
I know, but
I mean, all you need is a Santa Claus suit, some fake snow, and a lot of Christmas Carol sound effects.
Well, he beat up a drunk Santa on that, so I guess that was
beating up drunk Santas always get you up.
Okay, that's the card. Anything else you want to say about WrestleMania this year?
What celebrity is going to show up? Is it going to be people?
William Shatner.
Oh, William Shatner will be there.
Maybe Pete Rose comes out of the to get slammed.
No, Pete Rose won't come back out. I think when they bring out the Hall of Fame people this year,
Kid Rock's in there.
Yeah, Kid Rock's in. He's probably going to do a bit, but this is going to be interesting because the reaction of everyone that they've inducted is going to be a big induction, and people are going to look at Hillbilly Jim and go, "You look like a hippie." Because if you look at him now, he's got his hair slicked back. He's got these cool glasses on. He's the same size he was, but he just looks he's completely different now. And Edge and Christian will be there.
You can't go wrong with Edge. I'm telling you that.
Because they're putting the Dudleys in the Hall of Fame, and Molly Holly, she's putting Ivory in the Hall of Fame. They haven't said who's putting Mark Henry in yet.
Wonder how much Ivory's going to talk about Glow.
She might. Season 2's coming up.
Okay,
it ain't that great.
That's it. That's it. We're done. We're finished. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, it'll be time for the Rorschach test.
Every Sunday is super at Alternate Reality with our Super Sunday Sale. Each Sunday we pick a different character, family, or publisher, and we discount all of their comics and trade paperbacks 25% off all day long. What we pick for the sale is different each week, but each Sunday you'll save 25% off. And that's all day long, all day Sunday, only at Alternate Reality.
And we're back. Who did I go with last time?
It was me. You could start. You could start.
Rodney, I'm going to give you a word. Actually, it's a name. I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear this word, and that word is Blue Beetle.
Love the character. Love the character.
Why?
You love the character.
Because that was the first Charlton book I picked up was the Blue Beetle. Yes. I mean, the whole flash gun and the guy doing flips like a second-rate Spider-Man, and then had the flying bug and stuff. I'm telling you, I love the character for some strange reason. I even like him more than I like Captain Atom.
What?
And yes.
Well, it's another Charlton character.
Yes, another Charlton character. The Blue Beetle, I remember picking that comic book up at a convenience store in a little small place called England, Arkansas. Mm-hmm. And I read that book 5 times on the way home.
5?
Yes. Because I'm going, this is a good character. I like
You were able to read a Charlton book 5 times in a row and it didn't fall apart in your hands?
You're very funny.
I know about those. They weren't exactly the highest quality.
Charlton Comics went out of their way to print on the cheapest paper and using the cheapest material humanly possible to put their books together.
I think so. But that was a convenience.
They showed you a thing of white paper and a bottle of ink, and they told you to imagine.
Write your own story, kid.
No, it was me going to this convenience store in this, like I said, a little small place called England, Arkansas, and the store was called IGA. And before we would head from England back to Chicago, for some strange reason, I would buy a TV guide there. Now I don't know why. Because it was a book. And I was into books. I bought 2 Fangoria horror books, and I bought a Blue Beetle, and I bought a Captain Atom book. And I remember specifically reading all other books and going back reading the Blue Beetle book and just going, I like this character. Actually, it stuck with me for a long time.
I did it. The first time I went to Los Angeles, I picked up a TV guide for no apparent reason. I'm like, I know I have a TV guide at home. And
but you like to see what they
I know the times are different. Yeah. But what the hell? I'm here. And I'm not going to get one when I get home, so I just buy it here because I'm here, and I'll just use this for the week.
Well, see, this is because car rides from back in the day, car rides was like 9 to 12 hours long. You don't want to sit there and talk to your parents and go, blah, 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 blah. I'm sitting in the back seat just reading my books and going, oh, Blue Beetle. Okay, I read that. Let me read it again. I'm telling you, 5 times when I got home, and I was like, I actually liked the character.
Yeah, I never had those long car rides like that.
Hated the fact he got killed in the whole pre-52 storyline, but... Yeah, hopefully they bring him back.
Well, Max Lord.
Ted Cord's dead.
You know,
the Blue Beetle character killed.
When they did Brightest Day, they didn't bring Ted Cord back. They brought a bunch of dead characters back, but they didn't bring back Ted Cord. You are never going to see Ted Cord back because Blue Beetle's Hispanic now, and that is the plan.
He's a kid.
He's the Hispanic kid character who is going to go away and come back and go away and come back and go away and come back. Okay, for 12 to 18 to 22 issue runs.
As long as Keith Giffen's alive, Blue Beetle will never go away.
Yeah, I know what you mean about Ted Cord, but no, I don't think Ted Cord's ever coming back. Ted Cord is gradually getting into the Uncle Ben arena.
Yes.
Never coming back.
Never coming back.
You know where Ted Cord hangs around? The CWDC shows. His name's thrown out every once in a while.
The name has shown up a lot over the last 5 years. Cord Industries.
Yeah, Cord Industries has popped up a lot. I talked to Ted Cord today. Yeah, he hasn't popped up on it. But he's been referred to multiple times on all of those shows.
Yeah. What about you, Blue Beetle?
Spider-Man Light, same sort of idea.
Well, Ditko created him.
Yeah, Ditko created him. And actually, you read the Charlton books? I never read any of those books.
Every single one.
I never read any of those books. The only time I found about Blue Beetle was he popped up in the DC universe. That was it.
You never read Peacemaker either?
No. I take
He loves peace so much he'll fight for it.
I take that back. I think I've got one copy of a couple of Charlton books, and that was it. And I never picked up Blue Beetle. I think it might have been Peacemaker. But but he's Spider-Man like. He's Spider-Man, but he's not funny. He's a beetle, but he's not a spider. And for a while,
he's blue. He's not red.
He's blue. He's blue. He's not red. And he's flying around in a giant bug. And that was cool. That was the Keith Giffen thing. That was nice. But he was just a second-rate Spider-Man. In the same manner in which Daredevil for a while was a second-rate Spider-Man. All of a sudden, Frank Miller showed up and went, no, none of that. No. He doesn't joke around. Daredevil's a serious character. Blue Beetle hasn't gotten to that point.
But Blue Beetle is not a second-rate Spider-Man right now because they've gone out of his way. They've gone out of their way to turn him into sort of Iron Man Light.
Yeah, he's Iron Man Light with a scarab that gives him this armor stuff, and he's J.B. Raz. The recent Blue Beetle book that was run, it was quite an entertaining book. Scott Kolpish drew that book. The book is very well drawn.
Well, it's gone now.
It's gone now. But you never know. Nobody ever dies in comics.
It's the same with the Question.
Yeah.
And what's
Renee
her face?
Montoya's
the original Question. He's just as gone as Ted Cord is.
Yeah.
Well,
because the attitude I think at DC is get rid of all of them. They don't exist except in continuity that doesn't exist anymore. Right. This is the new one, and we're pushing that forward, and we're not talking about the old one anymore. Right. We're not having anything to do with the old one anymore.
You know what I find so funny about that is they didn't do anything with Thunderbolt. Peter Cannon.
Pete Cannon Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
I never understood the allure of that.
They did a limited series that nobody bought.
No. Take my word for it. Nobody bought it.
No one bought it.
Really. No,
yes,
you did.
Me, and a couple other people. And when I read it,
by the time we got down to that last issue, I think I was selling 3 copies
Yeah.
of it. You got one.
Yeah.
You got one, and I got another guy who
Right,
gets one. Okay,
right.
and that was it.
But that was it. We're bringing back Ted Kennedy, and I read it, and I go, what the hell am I buying this for? Why don't you bring back Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter while you're at it?
Another one I picked up. That's why
That was a damn good book, though.
You know what? I know it's a goofy thing to even ask, but I would love if they would put them in a trade or something, which they probably won't even sell. But just say $75 for that.
They've done archive editions of Charlton stuff. And I know there's at least one archive, as in one archive book, with the Charlton characters in it. They do.
You know what they're waiting for? They're waiting for Alan Moore to do something.
Alan Moore did something with it.
Yeah, right.
We've been down that road
That's
already.
what people remember. They remember what Alan Moore did to them, not the original characters.
Yeah.
You know what I would have liked to have seen? What you were talking about. If Alan Moore had done that with the Charlton characters, as opposed to making the Watchmen out of the Charlton characters. If they just taken the Charlton characters and he'd done that with them, you'd still be having them running around.
Oh, definitely Blue Beetle. Oh man.
But that was the thing that worked for and against Watchmen was he came up with this one concept that people are still talking about today and is still the centerpiece of comic book storytelling for today. But any chance of having anything done with the Charlton characters got washed away in the process, and you're never going to be able to go back to
because people went, why would I care about them when I got these characters involved?
No.
Yeah. I mean, Rorschach is infinitely more interesting than the Question is. Yes. But you know what the funny part of that is? If you watch the Question in the Justice League cartoon series,
on that.
he is more interesting than Rorschach.
He's hilarious on that.
He's more interesting than Rorschach just because he's off, and both characters are off their nut.
Yeah.
Okay, but Rorschach is just off his nut, angry. I'm going to break your fingers until you tell me what I want. And then once you tell me what I want, I'm just going to break the rest of your fingers anyway for the hell of it.
This is fun.
While Question from the animated series... He's just crazy.
What is that? Government put microphones in fluoride toothpaste.
Yeah.
What you think?
Yeah.
What?
That's brilliant stuff. And the problem with that is it doesn't translate to a comic.
No.
But it's brilliant, and that's what they ought to run with.
You know what would help that?
What?
If you sent the Question over to Marvel and you said, hey, Max Bemis, the guy doing Moon Knight,
there you go.
Do something with it.
Yeah.
That would work.
There you go.
But Max Bemis is hanging out with Marvel.
A faceless guy walking around saying crazy stuff.
Right.
That would work. That would.
And that's it. We're done. We're finished. We're out of here. We've got no more time for wrestling or Blue Beetle, but you go to the store's website, myalternatereality.com. You can find all of Bo's news. You can find all of JR's reviews. You can find all of Vito's Carly's reviews. After you go to the website, stop off at the store, Alternate Reality, located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Alternate Reality, where all new comics are always 15% off every day for everyone. Rod, say goodbye.
Goodbye, Ted Cord.
Bo, say goodbye.
Peter Cannon, wherever you are, please come back. So we can kick you out in the street where you belong.
And this is Comic Book Man saying bye. Thanks a lot for listening. If you enjoyed this show, please like and share it with all your friends. We value your feedback, so drop us a question, comment, show idea, or complaint either at aircomics@msn.com or, if provided, in the comments section down below on this platform. The opinions expressed in this episode are solely those of the individuals and not necessarily those of Alternate Reality Incorporated. This show is, as always, coming to you from the Alternate Reality Comic Shop, located in the heart of beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie, serving Chicago comics fandom since 1994.
Elvis has left the building.